and welcome to another episode of the Big Fish Theory. Leeds are currently in a Premier League survival battle at the moment. We're 15th with 33 points. We're only a few clear, 4 points clear at drop zone, with 7 games left to go. And there's a massive FA Cup quarter-final against West Ham on the horizon. How you doing, Father?
I'm okay, son, are you?
Yeah, not bad. Watched England yesterday. What did you think to Calvert-Lewin's miss?
Well, watching England yesterday, like putting pins in your eyes. It was that exciting. It was a poor one. It was a poor miss as well, and he's not going to get many chances, is he, to prove himself? Hopefully he gives him another chance on Tuesday, but it was a bad miss.
Yeah, it was a
Leeds
bad miss. And yeah, it was like Brentford game, really, weren't it, in all fairness?
It was a Leeds miss, yeah.
Nice to hear from Bielsa, though, speaking about us and why he hasn't been back.
Yeah, it showed you a lot of Leeds fans with flags. They've gone down with flags, Bielsa flags. He's an icon, in it, lad.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, what a wonderful time for us to experience. And whether you agreed with him or disagreed with what happened in the end, I mean, we were shipping goals, but what a style of football. And, you know, it's been dirty Leeds probably since you were a kid, and he changed that outlook. You know, had him picking up garbage, that goal he gave back to Aston Villa, but nobody stayed down, small squad size and high energy. It was something we could get behind.
The only thing is, obviously we were there for Villa game, but I want to get goal back. I'd have done what Jensen did.
I did not think, he went a season after that, didn't he?
I'm sorry, I want to get him out back.
I expected no else.
You what?
I didn't expect out else off you.
I'm all for fair play and stuff, but when you've scored, it's a bit different. But yeah, he was brilliant. He was just a wonderful man.
Right,
he lived in a flat, got bus to work, got bus back home from work. Spot on.
That's it. I lived above Sweet Shop. So we're on 33 points with 21 points left to play for. Looking at form are West Ham and Spurs, and obviously I suppose Forest now, but they just got that Spurs win. Do you think that the 40-point safety mark is a myth this year? Or are we staring down a must-win against Burnley?
I think, personally, you're going to need more than 40 points to stop up. I think because, look, what we've got left now, we've got 3 home games, haven't we now, which is 9 points. I think we need 3 wins.
We've got Wolves, Burnley and Brighton at home left, and we've got Scum, Bournemouth, Spurs, West Ham away. But obviously that Burnley game, that's... You know, what's that? That's 4 games to end. So I think that's when you'll be looking at...
we play Friday night now,
you'll be needing 3 points.
Yeah, well, they've altered game now to Friday night, so that gives us a little bit of, if we can win that one. But as I see it, you've got win your own games, right? Win your own games. That puts us on what? Well, we're on 33 now. That puts us on 42. I think I just think we've got to have a mindset that we might pick odd point up away from home, but can you see us winning at Manchester United? Can you see us winning at Tottenham? Can you see us winning at Bournemouth? And can you see us winning at West Ham? It's a difficult one, isn't it? Do you know what I think, Ad? I think we've got it in us. I think we've got it in us if we go out and attack. I think we've got it in us. And we've proved it this season that when we do go out and attack teams, Palace, I know you're leaving yourself a little bit open at back, but we've got a good defence. And like when he changed it against Brentford, that last 10 minutes, we were getting balls into the box, we were getting corners, so we can do it. I think we've got the personnel, we've got I think we can do it. I do, honestly. But I think he's got to be brave as a manager. As a manager to win out, you've got to be brave. And I think, and I like Farke, he's got to be brave now and keep us up.
Do you throw process out a window and you're getting them scruffy 1-0s, and obviously you take a point every time you draw and you're holding on to it. As XG, I think, puts us at 11th place, and obviously we're 15th. But I don't know, there's also that panic thing that we do. We always knew we were going to be in a relegation battle, but that 0-0 against Brentford, it's like, oh, that's it, it's apocalypse, Whereas underlying metrics say we are a solidly mid-table side. And I think we're just a little bit hardwired for misery. I'm not panicking as much as you.
I'm not panicking, Ad, but you've hit something on the head there when you said we're in a mid-table side, and we should be at mid-table. There's games there that we could have changed, and we could have, Everton away, Talked about this before. Half-time, Leeds are all over them. Everton change game, and then he waits and he waits and he waits until they score. You know, fetched, I can't, what it meant, but to actually change system until we went 1-0 down with that penalty, then he changes it. There's games that we should not have lost, I'm sorry, that we should not have lost or drawn, and we should have won. And I don't think we should be in this position. I think if he changes it earlier, I think Leeds are well capable of winning games that we've drawn. Not them all. I mean, obviously, you know, there's games when we didn't deserve to win. Forest away, Burnley away, I didn't think we deserved out. But there's games when I really do think management have cost us his management style and just been a little bit, you know, if he'd have been a bit more proactive, I think we'd have had more points. I don't think we're a relegation team. I really don't. But we're in a relegation battle because he's left it too late a lot of times. And that's not just me saying that. You look at games. Brentford, we never look like scoring. You know, and we hear what he says. Oh, you know, they're a good side. Brentford were there for taking. I'm sorry. And we proved that last 10 minutes because when he does change it, we are the better side.
Yeah, I agree with that. And look, and also Brentford game was shit, but also they came with 3 centre backs playing 5 at back. They came looking for a draw. They had that first 10-minute spell, and it is Premier League. And when sides do come looking for a draw, you do struggle to break them down. And we struggled, like we couldn't break Burnley down last season. We'll probably struggle to break them down again this season, but. Like, again, you know, because we have already once. Like, these sides, when they really want to do it, you know, they can. Look at Chelsea's, Mourinho's Chelsea. They want to hold on to a 1-0. They've got that ability to do so. They can stagnate games. We're averaging 55 minutes a bleeding game, and Arsenal has scored 5 against us. Like, you know, like,
I agree with what you said. I do agree with that. I agree with that. I know they came for a draw, but it's up to you as home side to be proactive and go for it. And certainly when we're in the position we're in, I mean, we were lucky and got away with Burnley. Let think about this now. The next time we play, we could be a point clear of relegation. That's it, because West Ham play before us, don't they? So if they do win, do we play? Yeah, we play on Monday against Man U. We play after everybody else. We could be, you know, and they play Wolves, I think, West Ham. We could be in a bad position.
Villa, Spurs have got Sunderland, West Ham have got Wolves, and Burnley's got Brighton.
That's what I'm saying. That's where as home games are pivotal. We've got to win them. You have to be brave and go for it. And I know what you're saying. You've got your Brentfords and things like that. I understand that. But my argument is, we do look solid at back. And when he does change it, we do look as though we do put teams under pressure. And we do put teams under pressure. And that's the thing. You know, you just think, I'm not saying go into a game and go gun-ho, you know, playing Nonto, playing James and playing Okafor, whatever, and doing it like that. But what I'm saying is change it earlier if it's not working. Brentford at half-time, we could all see what we're... I mean, go back to the Sunderland game. For me, that was 3 points thrown away. You know, Sunderland had got all players out on international break. They came for a point. They nicked it with that penalty. We all know we should have had a penalty. Yeah, we what happened. But you have to put that aside and look at when did he change it. And yet he left it again too late. You change that game at half-time, there's only one winner for me. Sunderland, you know, you're going on about Brentford. Sunderland won Brentford. You know, Brentford got better players. You know, Sunderland done a brilliant job this season. You're going about manager at year and things like that, and they all escape to whoever wins league with all money they've got. But you look at what he's done up at Sunderland. You know, he's done a good job there for them.
Yeah, it's going to be the same. It'll be Arteta that wins it if Arsenal win league. But it is bollocks. It's shite.
It will. It'll be Arteta.
You look at sometimes these sides come up.
You look. Yeah, there's other sides. I mean, everybody thought Sunderland, Leeds, in fairness, you know, probably would struggle and go down. And in fairness, Sunderland's given it a good go. I mean, we have. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Very. I mean, we've got Man U away, week on Monday. I hate them games. You know, I just hate them games. Although saying that,
it's been so long since we beat them.
Yeah, we were there as well. Yeah, been there a few times. I remember in 1980, I think it was 81, Brian Flynn scored. Remember that one? 1-0. Who put the ball in the Man U?
I was there for Boxing Day, when we beat him on Boxing Day. Yeah,
that was brilliant.
Obviously, yeah.
Tell you the best thing we ever did when we played them, right? No, whatever like that was Christmas Eve, I think we played. Somewhere around there. Yeboah scored. Just set Christmas up brilliant. Licked him 3-1. Michael won it net. And it's South Stand. Used to have a season ticket in there.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, brilliant game. Yeah, Google it. I'm sure it was Christmas Eve or Christmas Eve or something like that. But brilliant! Just set Christmas up lovely that year.
Yeah.
But then we have had some tuppings, haven't we? You know, that's the problem.
Well,
I remember coming to
game.
Road.
I got everybody down. I got everybody down here in Boozer. I says, I'm telling you, this is year we're going to beat them. We're going to beat fucking, but that's it. And I got big screen up. I closed half at restaurant down, and I got all lads in. And I'm like, I'm telling you, this is it. We're going to fucking beat them. We're going to beat them. And we were 2-0 down in 4 minutes. I think it was McTominay scored two, second minute and fourth minute. No. And I've sat down and we've got about 50 blokes in there, 50 beers out. Oh, fucking hell. And they're trying to do that half consoling you. What makes you want to smack them in gob even more?
Yeah. I remember phoning up when we lost I can't remember if it was 5-1 a few years ago, Radio Leeds. This woman phoned up and she says, well, it don't matter. We need to move on and there's bigger games. I was just seething. Oh, they're in bigger games. Yes, it does fucking matter. It matters. Of course it matters. What about poor bastards that gone all the way there to watch them play? You what?
Look at Chelsea. Like with Chelsea fans, after 3-1 wheels, right? Chelsea fans were calling into TalkSport and they were going mental, saying they don't realise what this means. They do not realise what Leeds Chelsea is. And for that half-ass, and I thought, do you know what? I agree with you there, kid, because you're listening to these Chelsea fans and they're saying effort weren't there. I can accept losing, but I can't accept that Ed's go down. He says, because it's Leeds Chelsea. He says, and people at new generation don't get what that is. LUFC Lewis did that video already, didn't he? And it was fantastic.
Do you know what it is? I'll tell you exactly what it is as well, Ad. In our day, and probably 30 years, but just pre-Premiership, majority of players that played were home international players. So they either played for Wales, Northern Ireland, Scotland or England, and they knew what it meant. I mean, they really did. You went down to Chelsea, you were in for a battle, you knew that. Manchester, wherever, Man City, place at Liverpool. Because they were all like, you look at Liverpool side, quite a bit were Welsh and, Toshak and it meant something. And I do think it's been watered down because we have got a lot of international foreign players coming into the game. Well, Well, I mean, obviously, football's probably better, but they don't realise the genuine. I think every player that comes into a club, be it us or I don't care who it is, they should sit them down and they should show them a video at club's history, and they should sit down in this room for 2 hours and just show them history and say, right, this is what this is what you're playing for. This is it. And I think when we played down there at Chelsea, we won 2 apiece. They're frightened to go in for tackles, Chelsea players. They're on these 8-year contracts. They don't want to get injured. They don't want to get, they're just on 8-year contract. They're not bothered. They know for the next 8 years they're okay. They're not playing for out. I genuinely believe that's a problem in football these days. In our day, you look at Leeds side, Lorimer, Ray, Bremner, they're all international. In fact, Leeds had 11 international players at the time. And then you go and play Man United. You know what? Bloody proper hard team. And tackles it meant something. I think it has been watered down because we've got so many foreign international players playing in game now, which is good. And I'm not saying how to get, but it has watered it down. And I do think you're right with Chelsea. I don't think it's right with Leeds. I think because majority, if you look at Leeds, we've got James.
I think there's a better idea of it, yeah.
There's a better idea of it. We have got a few English players there British players there kind of thing. So they do, it does feed through. But I think every player that signs for a club, so whichever club it is, I don't care what club, you should sit down and you should watch a video for half an hour of your club, what they've won and what it means to supporters. Because it's us, isn't it, that pay money. It's either it's you that pays Sky or it's us that pays a season ticket money season after season and pay for travelling and your parking and they go up and down the country to watch them play. It means something. And if it means something to us,
it's everything. It's that global reach as well. Like you look at it, I talked to a few folk and they're obviously over in America. Some of these lads are getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning to watch a game and you think, well done. And it's got that reach over because obviously there's no passion over here in sport football, in most sports actually. And then they see English football and think, wow, yeah, that's, that crowd's amazing. And they get attached to a club and I think that's fantastic. Anyway, we're digressing a bit. So you reckon, if you said 41, 42 points, right? So if you said...
I think we've got to win home matches.
41.
Got to win home matches.
Then, yeah.
If you don't lick Burnley,
right? So then you need 8 points. Where's them 8 points coming from?
Right. If you don't lick Burnley at home and you don't lick Wolves at home, and don't get something out of Brighton game, you're not going to stop up. That's fact. That's fine. Nah, so if you win, same as I said, we go into Man U game. Do you expect Tottenham to Man U away? Do you know what I think with Man U away game? If he goes and attacks
we'll get a point.
I hope you're right. Well, that's the thing. You need them bonus points. You're going to need Summit away from home at 4 games. Now, we'd all be looking at Bournemouth game thinking we could go at Bournemouth's an hard place to go. But you'd be looking, I don't want to go to Tottenham. I don't want to go to Tottenham when they've changed manager and they're desperate to win and we're desperate to win. And I don't want to go to West Ham last game of the season because you know what it's going to be like. So we need to do it before then, I think. Be at least 4 points clear going into them games.
Got, obviously, the last 3 games is Tottenham, Brighton, West Ham, which are arguably the tougher, well, definitely tougher than Wolves, Bournemouth, Burnley as a set of 3. So you could be 9 points, maybe 7 points better off than you are now. Wolves, 100% you've got to be beating. Burnley, see, I've got more faith in getting a point at Man U than I've got 3 points against Burnley.
Yeah, do you know what worries me, right? I'll go back to 82. We got relegated in 82, right? And the second to last game were Brighton to them. And we won it. We were 1-0 down and we scored 2 late goals. I'll never forget it. I can't remember their player, Jeff and Sean will know. And he scored against us. I think it was Robinson. And he come up to the cop and he went down like that. Put thumb down. You're down. And we scored 2 goals. But then we went to West Brom and lost and went down. It's got that feeling.
I watched season review.
I don't want to go into that. Let's win his home games and we'll be fine. If we don't,
do you think Spurs are going to get out though? Do you see Spurs? They've got Sunderland, so imagine that Sunderland beat them, right? Then they've got Brighton, so they've got to be thinking same as what you're thinking about Brighton. Brighton. Then they've got Wolves, right? Now, fair to say, if just in normal circumstances they get 3 points against Wolves, then they've got Villa, us, Chelsea, and Everton who are flying high at the moment. Like realistically, I think they're fucked. I think there's a good chance that we might not need more than 3 points. I don't think you'll need 40 points to go down, to stay up. I think Wolves, I think you could go down on 36, 37 points this season.
Don't you think, though?
And I think Spurs will be one of them.
If Tottenham change manager, they might get a bit of a bounce. Because let's be fair, right?
They've got rid of him, haven't they?
I know they have, yeah, but what's happening at Tottenham? They've got some good players there. Let's be straight up. They've got some decent players there. And if they get a manager in that motivates them to last 4 or 5 games, I mean, I think they're in trouble. I think the Leeds 3 years ago when we got relegated, I think that's what Tottenham looked like. They're panicking, they're changing the managers, which is exactly what we did. Set wrong manager on it first place. You look at, it's like for like. And we went down. They're in the same position, but I do think, concentrating on ourselves. I think West Ham will pull out of it. I thought Forest were going to go down until I saw them last week at Tottenham.
But I mean,
that's the beauty of football.
With Tottenham, they didn't look that bad for a little bit at first half, but defensively, they are all over the place. They're so easy to break apart. I don't think we'll struggle with Tottenham, to be honest. I think finally we'll win something in London. For me, and I think it'll seal their deal that they're down. I think they'll be down by then. Wolves are obviously going to be down in the next couple of games officially. I think we might get... Realistically, we could send Wolves down officially, send Burnley down officially, and send Spurs down officially. That could be us running. Yeah. Or finish season and send West Ham down officially. Like, realistically, we could condemn all 3 relegated sides in the order that they come up. That'd be great. So,
we stop up. Yeah. What do we do? What do we do with manager?
We'll keep Farke. You know what camp I'm in for that.
Send him on a training course. That's what he needs to do.
I'd encourage
Send
him
on
to
a
look
course.
at I'd change
it's
clock.
Your board don't have to say 70 minutes on it when you make substitutes. Oh, really? All right, I'll try it then.
That's what I do. I just change clock. Like, obviously, clocks go back to me, don't they? I just changes for about 7 or 8 minutes just to force him into that. His man management's incredible. He took over a shit show. He's got us back into Premier League, a playoff final, Premier League. Will look like we're in a very good position to stay there. And he's done that on a limited budget with 2, in all fairness, punts on 2 strikers that couldn't get clubs anywhere else, couldn't get game time and have terrible injury records. And he's done it. Yeah, he's done it on a limited budget, in a smaller budget than anybody else in Premier League. Now, I think that's incredible. And look at that. Sunderland obviously spent a lot more than us, right? But don't forget, Wolves have spent more than us for years now. Every other side, but Burnley spent more than us as well, right? So we've come into this position and we're above all them. And Spurs, how much have Spurs spent in comparison to us? And we're still up there. And not only up there, competitive, and just that little snick it off and actually taking sides and beating them. The amount of draws that we've had that we should have won, whereas performances relayed that we should have won, we could be mid-table. Now, for me, yeah, he's done everything right. Yes, his substitutions, Jesus, they fuck me off. But they do everybody else. And it's like, yeah, well, when he's on about with new tactics, and he's like, yeah, well, you don't want to be mentioning too much. You've got to keep people guessing. Well, you don't, do you? Because you know you're not going to change it till 70th minute, and we all know who's coming on. And obviously, we've got this running now. What do you think it is with Nonto? Like you said, that he shagged his mother or something.
I think he's sleeping with his missus or something. I don't know.
What's he done?
I don't know. I mean, the thing is with what they call it. Well, Bonanetti, I mean, what's happened to him? He's gone back to Chelsea. Nobody's seen him since.
Yeah, we saw him for 45 minutes. He was shit, and he didn't get on a plane and went to Chelsea. And I think
I agree with that.
If 49ers, they just turned around and said, "Listen, get him over here in January and don't work out there and sit him up bench for the rest of the season. Just don't you go to fucking Chelsea over us, son." Yeah. I think that'd be well worth some wages for 6 months.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I do agree with. Yeah, I just think with Nonto's situation, I don't know, because I think game the other day were crying out for him. Other than Okafor, because he does take people on and have a shot. He does go, and I do think we missed him, but. You can't see him being there next season, can you? I just want to say that I do like Farke. I agree everything you said about Farke, and I do really. But he has to learn, and he has to learn this season. Because if he doesn't, he'll not last early next season. If we have a bad start to season next season, if we do get relegated, actually, I keep him. I won't get rid of him. Because there's no better manager to fetch you back up. But if we stop up and we just sneak it with a point or two, I think you've got to ask that question. I'm not saying get rid of him, but I think you've got to ask that question. And can he learn? And can he go on next season and take us that little bit further? We don't want to be down there every season struggling, do we? Let's be honest.
No, but first season you go up, you're gonna be down there struggling. That's gonna happen. Next year we've got a bit more telly money. We've got that reinvestment. Yeah, but we are. That's how it is. You're gonna be down there. Sunderland's not exactly up there, are they? They're just above us. Yeah, but they are. They're not pushing for Europe or out yet. You've got to. It's not like when we went up in 90 and then won it in 91, 92. Like, that's not reality at World anymore. I'm afraid money buys everything, and you've got to stay up there for a couple of years till you get that money to be able to build. Now, what I would say is, I don't think as a side we're far off Everton. They're not far off looking for a European place now.
I'll tell you what, he's doing a good job there. He's a good manager, him. He's doing a good job there. I bet West Ham wish they'd got him. West Ham fans wanted him gone.
I know.
They wanted him gone.
That's your other option as well. Yeah, but this is the Farke situation. Look at West Ham, Forest, Spurs, this manager rotation, 4 managers in a season. It's absolutely mental. And some of them have had some good managers. Who knows? We'd have took him any day of the week. Well, at that moment before Man City game, when he weren't changing it, and we'd just been beat by Burnley, and we're thinking we're in trouble here, we need to change manager if we're going to stay in league, blah, blah, blah. We'd have took Nuno Espirito Santo at any moment then. That would have been probably Bucky's best odds on having him. And then obviously, he's been at 2 other clubs. Like, what a mess. Like, what an absolute mess is happening. Forest, 4 managers in a season is just nonsense. And they've got Wolves manager that got fired 7 games in. That's what you could end up with.
I agree.
And you're not going to go out. Zinedine Zidane ain't going to come and manage us. It's not going to happen.
No, I agree with that. And if you look at season that we didn't come up, that first season that he took over, when we didn't have a squad, when we played at Birmingham and... all that lot. He did a great job that season, and I know there were people calling for him to go, but then obviously we get 100 points season after, and I don't want him to get sacked. I genuinely, I think he's, but what I'm saying is he's got to learn, because if he don't learn, and we set off season next season just as bad, not as bad, I mean, we didn't set off as, particularly bad, but I think he's got to learn, because I do think if we're going to have investment, and we're going to move on, he's got to prove himself a little bit more, that's all.
I've got some questions for you. Well, first question, remove all your emotion from it. Do you think we'll stay up based on performances? Yeah?
Yeah.
Right, me too. Right then, couple of questions for you. So, for instance, obviously Ampadu as captain, 7 yellow cards, but he's as captain, he's a mainstay. Anton Stack, I think, is the highest SOFA score a FOTMOB rating. Obviously, his free kicks really help with that. But he's got better and better, in all fairness. As of next season, who would you say, just one player, is your absolute mainstay for next season?
To stop at Ellen Road?
Yeah, no, just your first player on sheet. Like, who would you absolutely want, if you could guarantee would be there next year? Which player is it?
It's got to be Ampadu for me.
Yeah?
Without a doubt. I mean, he's got that Billy Bremner about him where he gets in for tackles, no stops him. He's angry, he's mad, he gets, I think he's brilliant. I do, honestly. I think Chelsea missed a thing getting shut at him there. Definitely. Without a doubt. Rodon's another one. You've got to have a good defence before you start with your attack. I mean, we look on, you take one further, which is a big one. Who would you keep up front? I think it's self-explanatory. We keep at back, or do you keep up front? Because that is your issue.
Yeah, Nemecha, I think, has an affordability to him that we don't necessarily have with DCL. And he also actually has a really good goal ratio for minutes played. Like, he does score when he's on. Obviously, there's two penalties in that. But
2 penalties,
DCL
I agree with you.
seems to be...
Yeah. But we have had a problem at these last 3 or 4 games, mate. We've had a problem in scoring and missing And what happens is with strikers, I mean, I think Calvert-Lewin's been great, and he has. I mean, he's took a risk on him, and it's paid off. But you need other players then to start coming into it. Aronson, do you know how many goals has he got this season? It's 3. I can't remember. It's not a lot. 3, 4. 4.
Yeah, so 4. I've got.
You need more than that coming from. So that's the problem now. The goals are not spread about as much.
Yeah,
and we
don't
need
have wingers
them
either, don't forget. We're not playing wingers. So when you're playing 3 defensive midfielders, that's why Stack's scoring, because he takes free kicks. It's no else. And obviously set pieces. But
would you keep then? Do you keep Calvert-Lewin for another season?
I would do, but if I had the option to keep both, I would. We've got 10 goals out of him. That's incredible. And his hold-up play for the style that we're playing this year, because I don't think we'll play the same style next year. I think we'll start to revert back to that 4-3-3 because he's spent more money. You've got these players already. And let's be honest, a few of them, Okafor, we spent a lot of money on him. Is the return worth it? You're looking at probably breaking even, if somebody else were to buy him now. Stack, absolute baller, be all fantastic, got better and better throughout season. Nemecha and DCL, we got them on free transfers. I mean, incredible options there to have. Goodmanson, that's my mainstay for next season, every day of the week. And Justin as well, realistically, we've had some bargains and we've spent well. So you don't have to replace any of those players. There's no player that you're looking and you're thinking, that's a kid on bench for next season. This is crap. Only one we've got so far is Buonanotte and we don't even own him. You've got then some players coming back. Ramazan is starting to play very well. As if we'll probably sell and he's not playing very well. But he wants to stay there in Spain. Mallorca's let him. If they give us £8 million, I think that seems a fair trade.
Well, he asked for a move, didn't he? So anybody asks for a move and wants to go, then you don't want to make your club later, let's be honest. I mean,
you've got Joffrey, exactly.
I wonder if that's what's up with Farke with Nonto, because obviously,
from before, yeah, for sure.
That don't sit well with anybody else supporters, in fairness.
And you've got Joffrey, and you've got Harry Gray will be learning a trade here and probably a bench warmer for next season. Your fact is, you're probably going to have about 150 million with this new PSR. I forgot what they call it. But the change in PSR situation. But we're probably going to have between 100 and 150 million on top of squad we've got now. He'll not play
and we will
defensive.
Sell some. We will sell. Yeah. Hopefully, well, I think Mesley is going anyway, isn't he? Because is he out of contract?
He's done, his contract's done at end of season.
So do we get rid of, what do we do with goalkeeping situation? I mean, I keep Darlow.
I mean, you're going to keep Darlow regardless.
Carl, he's out of contract this season.
He is, end of season, yeah. But I think he's
probably
going to get a new one.
Do you cash in on Perry? What do you do? And then Nonto will probably go. That's money coming in. You what?
I mean, Nonto will be money coming in. If they sell Tanaka, that'll be money coming in. If they sell Gruev, that'd be money coming in. Like, all these players would make money on. I don't want to see Tanaka go. I don't want to see
Tanaka go. You've got to give him time. It's like Okafor. We touched on Okafor. The thing is with Okafor, he's one of them who's been really frustrating all season. And then last 4 or 5 games before he got injured, you thought, there's a player there. You can see it. He's coming and then bang, he gets injured. And he's out for a few weeks. And I think there's a player there with Okafor. I think there's a player there with Okafor, I do, honestly.
Goodmanson went off injured for Sweden and all.
I saw that, but he said he's okay.
But he says he's all right, yeah. Right then.
because we've got FA Cup next week, so you can say, them your main players probably will play a big part anyway.
Yeah.
They'll get rest, won't they? They'll get rest.
Yeah. And so for some of them, like we said, Wales, they played well. Darlow, Ampadu, Rodon, James, they all had a good game and went out. So for us, it's a bit sad for Welsh contingent, but for us, that's a bonus. They played well, come out injury free, and they're going to be,
I think the thing is with
all right
Wales
for the rest of the season.
Yeah. But I actually watched Northern Ireland game against Italy until Ireland went 2-0 down, and then I switched over for Wales game. In fact, I got one on my phone. I got one on iPad and one on telly. So I got one but I was watching Ireland game on telly and the Wales game on iPad. And then, they played really well, Wales, and we're unfortunate. But penalties, what you can't miss penalties. And the thing is, Darlow did his job, saved first penalty, good save, and then he fires it over, and then you can see where it was going, can't you? I felt sorry for him, but you're right, it gives our players a little bit more time to rest. But if they had played on Tuesday, I don't think they'd have played in FA Cup anyway, probably a bit part in FA Cup if they'd have been knackered. So for league game, don't forget it's not till a week on Monday anyway, so they've got a couple of weeks to recover anyway, so it was a shame Welsh went out, really. I mean, I know they'll not say that about England and stuff, but
let's get through FA Cup.
The thing is with us, it's like with Scotland. I've always had one eye on Scotland. I always remember Eddie Gray and Billy Bremner and Frank Gray and all these wonderful players, kind of thing. David Harvey and stuff. And so I always got one eye on Scotland, in fairness, and I always remember it's like Wales. One of the finest players ever to pull a shirt on you. Scott Yoreth, John Charles, I mean, players like that. So you always keep an eye on Northern Ireland. I mean, David Healy.
You're not that old, are you, though? You're not old enough to remember.
No, do you know, I'm not
play.
Actually. I never saw. I did go to his testimonial, though, because what happened was, with John Charles, he got in a bit of trouble. I can't remember, financial-wise. Club put him a testimonial on with Bobby Collins, and we all turned up for game. But I can't remember Gate, but I remember quite a few of us turned up for game. Me and lads went, me, Sean and Jeff and all lads. And so I saw him then, but the kid who I stand next to at Cop, right, who's been a season ticket holder longer than me and Sean. I mean, Sean's 54 years coming up, I think, now 50 years coming up. But he remembers John Charles playing, and he's still a season ticket holder. He's in his 80s, lad. His wife passed away.
Old fella,
not side of me. Not side of me.
Yeah, I know he is. I remember him.
Old lad. Well, he's still there. Right? His wife died about 6 weeks ago, so I've not seen him since his wife died. Because obviously, it's City March. But yeah, he's still a season ticket. He's renewed again, and he was there when John Charles played. Now then, that is history. I could listen to him all day, to be honest.
Fantastic.
Right, I'm going to wrap up there, son, because
hold on,
sun's out. Right,
yeah,
I know, because I'm going to pub.
Right. Fair enough. I'll let you get off then, and I'll save questions for next time.
No.
I'll speak to you.
Question. You're fine.
Honestly, I've just closed window like a twat, so I don't know where it's gone. I just closed window like a twat, so I don't know where it's gone. So I'll speak to you later, and you have a good one. We'll do preview for Scum game. Well, we'll do preview for West Ham game actually for FA Cup.
Adam, Adam. Don't forget to subscribe and like.
Nice one. Yeah. Cheers. Bye-bye.
See you later. Bye.